Hello, good morning all of you. This is KB here, physics faculty for NEET and JEE classes. Today we have to study about Coulomb's law. This is very important for our exam. Like we have studied in 11th class Newton's law of gravitation. So similar way here Coulomb's law is very important in electricity, and that is a part of electrostatics. So let's start. Are you ready? Yeah, now start. This is Coulomb's law statement. The force of interaction between any 2 point charges is directly proportional to product of charges and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. This one is the definition, a statement of Coulomb's law. But he got forces between two charged particles by the help of experiment, and he gave the law there is a force between two point charged particles, and it depends on medium as well as depends on the nature of charged particles. If both charged particles are positive or like charges, or might be both are negative, then they will repel to each other. If they are in opposite nature, unlike charges, then they will attract to each other. So this was given by Coulomb's, and that's why it's called Coulomb's law. So let's see, if Q1 here and Q2 here, 2 point charges are separated at distance r. R is the distance between Q1 and Q2. So according to Coulomb's, F directly proportional to Q1 and Q2. This is equation, you can suppose 1, and F directly proportional to 1 upon r square. This is equation number 2. From 1 and 2 we can write from 1 and 2, from 1 and 2, F is equal to K Q1 Q2 upon r square. So this is force which is called electrostatic force, and it is given by Coulomb, where K is electrostatic force constant and Q1 Q2 point charges and r distance between Q1 and Q2. So whenever there are two charges, point charges like Q1 and Q2 are separated at distance r, then force must be equal to K Q1 Q2 upon r square. Now let's see what is K here. Here K, as we call K, is electrostatic force constant, electrostatics force constant, which depends on medium or material, and this is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught epsilon r, that is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon. So new term come here, that is epsilon. So what is epsilon? We'll discuss about epsilon here. Here epsilon, electric permittivity of medium or material where charged particles are placed, where charged particles are placed. Epsilon gives electrical property of medium. It gives electrical property of medium. It gives, you can write, it gives electrical property of medium. Of medium or space. Now see the dimension, units and the value of epsilon. Now see dimensions, unit, dimensions and value of epsilon or k. Epsilon, first unit, we'll talk about unit. Since if, you can write here, since if k q1 q2 upon r square, right, we can write 1 by epsilon 4 pi epsilon q1 q2 r square. So you can write epsilon 1 upon 4 pi if q1 q2 r square, right? So you can find a unit of epsilon, you know, unit of charge, unit of distance, unit of force. So SI unit will be SI unit of epsilon is what? Coulomb square per meter square, Newton per meter square. Coulomb square per Newton per meter square, right? If an epsilon, you can find if like this, and Coulomb, yeah, that's right. Now see the dimensions. Dimensions of epsilon. Since epsilon is equal to, here epsilon is equal to q1 q2 upon 4 pi if r square. You know QIT, current and time, and also if Newton and R meter. So we can write like this: A T and upon M L T minus 2 and L2. ML T minus 2 L2. So what would be the value? Now see. Now see, here dimensions of epsilon. So dimensions of epsilon will be A to A2 T4 and M minus 1 L minus 3, M minus 1 L minus 3. This is the dimensions of epsilon, like A2 T2 A2 A2 T2 T here 2 and 2 4 A2 T4 M minus 1 M minus 1 and L minus Q. So this is the dimensions of epsilon. This is the dimensions of epsilon. M minus 1 L minus 3 T4 A2, M minus 1 L minus 3 T4 A2. So you can write like this: M minus 1 T4 L minus 3 A2. We know very well A mass, T term, length, ampere. So this is a dimension. This dimensions has been asked many times in NET exam. So you got how you can find the dimension, how you can find the unit. Now see the value. Value of, see the value of epsilon, since epsilon is equal to epsilon r epsilon naught, where epsilon naught absolute permittivity Vt, that is equal to 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12 for air or vacuum. Air or vacuum. Here epsilon r relative permittivity, T Vt. So epsilon, so here we can find 1/4 epsilon naught epsilon r. The value will be 9 into 10 to the power 9, and that would be Newton meter square per coulomb square. We can use this one for to solve numericals or problems direct. You can put for air or space, for air or free space. Now you got it. So epsilon 1/4 epsilon r 9 10 to the power 9 Newton per meter square, that is the value, and we can use in any numerical which is asked in many exam like NEET and IIT JEE. So now see the other part. Now see the nature of Coulomb's law. Nature of Coulomb's force. Like if Q1 and here Q2, if Q1 and Q2 both are positive or might be Q1 and Q2 both are negative, or might be this one Q1 and Q2, this one is positive and this one is negative. positive charge, both are negative, both are, one is positive, one is negative. This one is called like charges. You know very well, this one is called like charges, like, and this one is unlike charges, unlike charges. So whenever there are like charges, then there would be force of repulsion, force of repulsion, force of repulsion. So here repulsive force, repulsive force, and here that is attractive, also repulsive force because it's like charges, repulsive force, repulsive force here as well, and here we can write this opposite, so it's attractive, both are attract to each other, both are attract to each other. This is attractive force, attractive force. So force of repulsion and force of attraction, it depends on the nature of charges, nature of charges. Here other thing, the force which acts along the line joining between 2 point charges. Next point we can see here, force, I mean might be repulsive or attractive force. This force, electrostatic force, electrostatic force, acts along line joining the charge particles, charge along the line joining the charge particles. So this one is the nature of Coulomb's law, and it's very easy and it's very fundamental thing. So it's always acts on the line joining both charge particles. Now see the next part, that is what is limitations of Coulomb's law. What is limitations of Coulomb's law? These are basic things, just we have to cover. Now we'll see how we can solve problems. There are so many problems we can solve with the help of Coulomb's law. Basic, it's a fundamental law, and once we have concept, very good concept on the Coulomb's law, then you can solve a lot of questions, and we can do in next electromagnetism and also in current electricity very well. So see, limitations of Coulomb's law. Limitations of this law. First, limitations means where it fails, where it is, what is boundary of this law, what is boundary of this law. First boundary, charges must be point, I mean charges must be point charges, charges must be point charges, like here Q1 and here Q2. So how we can define point charges? Point charges can be defined as whenever size of these particles is very very less with respect to this distance between them, then those charged particles is said to be point charge particles. So this law is applicable only for point charge particles. Second, the distance between these two charged particles must be greater than 1 Fermi 10 to power minus 15 meter. I mean, there is a boundary on distance as well. So distance r must be greater 10 to power minus 15 meter, that's 1 Fermi, and also r must be less than 10 to power 18 meter. That's 10 to power 18 meter light year. You know, it's light year. I mean, it should be less than light year. So there is a boundary. I mean, we have to take only distance greater than 10 to power minus 15 and less than 10 to power 18. In that range, we can apply Coulomb's law. Third, it is valid for charges in rest. Apply for charges in rest. Charges must be in rest. That's called its electrostatic force. That's called its electrostatic force. And next, so this is the limitation of this law, and in this this limitation we can see some objective questions like if given as one question we can see here, if given as f is equal to a, f k is constant, q1 q2 r square, b f I mean in next class we will study about electric field, and electric field is given like this: a is equal to k q1 q2 upon r square, I mean kq r square, and c, that is f for f qe, where a is electric field, where e electric field. So which one is correct? Which one? All are correct, but question is here: is these all laws applicable in all situations? No. It's only A and B here applicable for electrostatic situation, but this one can be applied in any situation. So here answer we can write A and B are applicable for any situation, for only electrostatic situation, but C can be applicable for any situation. C can be applicable for any situation. C can be applicable for any situation, for any situations. Got it? I mean, this one can be applicable for charges either in rest or in motion. Now see, now you have to say the vector form, because it's a force, so it's vector quantity. So how we can express Coulomb's law in vector form? So Coulomb's law in vector form, here in vector form you can write here Coulomb's law in vector form. Vector form, Coulomb's law in vector form. Because it's a force, like we can see here, this is coordinate x, y, or might be is z axis. That A particle here, B particle, charge particle, A like this, B, this one is O. The position of Q1 is R1 and Q2 is R2, and distance between line joining 2 point charges Q1 and Q2 is like this. OAB, like you got triangle. So here F is equal to, since F is equal to K Q1 Q2 upon R square. This is the magnitude, but once if you want to write in vector form, then we can write here F K Q1 Q2, here unit vector R upon R Q, we can write unit vector. So once we can write unit vector like here, F in vector form K Q1 Q2 on R square into unit vector along AB or BA. So this unit vector can be written as Q1 Q2 by R square R vector upon magnitude of R. Whenever you find unit vector, then we can divide the magnitude of that vector. Like this one, unit vector of R, R is the distance between what? A and B. So it would be equal to like this, K, like we can write F here, vector form F K Q1 Q2 upon RQ, this is R vector. So this is the vector form of Coulomb's law. But in this scenario, we can write here like this is vector form. Now in this scenario here, in this case, force due to 1 on 2 due to Q1 on Q2 will be equal to F12 force due to Q1 on Q2, force due to Q1 and you can write anything like F21, force on 2 due to 1. So this positive charge, so line joining will be like vector this AB along AB. So how you can find vector AB? R2 minus R1. So it would be like this, K Q1 Q2 by R2 minus R1 vector square into vector R2 minus R1 upon R2 minus R1, that is magnitude. So you can find this one I mean AB vector. AB vector you can find position vector of B minus position vector of A. So here position of vector of B R2 minus R1 and R2 minus R1. So it's all about, like we can write K Q1 Q2 upon R2 minus R1 Q, and this one vector R2 minus R1. Got it? This is the vector form. This is the F21. F21. Force on 2 due to 1. Force of 2 due to 1. Similarly, we can find here force on F12. Similarly, F12, F vector form 1 2, we can write K Q1 Q2 upon R1 R2 Q, and here vector R1 minus R2. So this is the vector form, I mean force on 1 due to 2. So we can find this force in vector form, and it depends on position. We will see how we can apply this vector form in different problems based on vector or position. If position given in 2 or 3 dimensions of charges, then we can apply this vector. Now it's time to know how to solve problems. How to solve problems. Now it's time to know how to solve problem based on Coulomb's law. Based on Coulomb's law. See, first, very simple, different, I mean adding a different cases based on problem, based on situations. Like case first, 2-point charge Q1 and this one Q2 might be positive, and this one like this. So what will be forces on Q2 due to Q1? The first question is here, how you can find force on Q2 due to Q1? It's in free space. So here, you know, force on Q2, that is F21, and that would be like this, F21, and this force like F12. So here force on Q2 due to Q1 will be equal to F21, and that would be equal to K Q1 Q2 by R square, and direction is along A to B. This one B along A to B. This one direction is along A to B. Here direction is along A to B. Along, you can write here along A to B. Just we can point out equation 1. Now find force. If someone asks question like find force on Q1 due to Q2, so here we can find, just here what you have to see, we have to see only where force is asking. Like here question asking force, we have to calculate on Q1 due to Q2. So you have to see how many charges are there, other charges except Q1. So here only one charge, other charge Q2. So Q2 will exert force on Q1, and that is along the line joining between Q1 and Q2. So next force on Q2 Q1 due to Q2 will be F12, and that would be like F12, that would be K Q1 again Q2 R square along BA B2A. So we can find this is 2. Now see, we got force on Q1 and Q2 both, but here you can see force on Q1 and Q2, the magnitude equal but direction opposite. Newton's third law is applied here, and this is the also property of Coulomb's law. Each force has equal and opposite reaction here as well. So we can write F12 like vector form if we want, then F21, and now magnitude if we want write F12 must be equal to F21. This is the vector form. So there is equal and opposite forces acting on body, which is applied in Coulomb's law as well. So now see next problems. Now see next case, like if division of case 2 division of charge particle for maximum force, between them, like if there is given as charge Q, then how we can divide this charge in two parts so that force between them will be maximum. Like if there is a charge Q, this one Q charge, you have to divide this charge Q at distance D so that the force between them would be maximum. So suppose that we have given charge Q, given charge here. How to solve this question? Like see, given charge Q, so divide in two parts at distance D, like here Q1 Q part and here Q minus Q part, two part, distance is D. So what would be the value of this charge? I mean, so that force between these two charge particles would be maximum, like C. So force here, we can write here force, I mean F is equal to K Q minus Q upon D square, that's magnitude. So this force should be maximum. So for maxima and minima from calculus we know, for maxima and minima, differentiation of f with respect to variable must be equal to 0 from calculus. So here we can find the differentiation and we can find the value of Q, like C. So here df dq will be, k is constant and d is also constant, k d square you can take out, and kq I mean q, only q, and this differentiation to q minus 2q. You got it? Now see, for maximum or minimum df upon d, this must be equal to 0 for maxima and minima, so we can find k upon d square and q minus 2q will be 0. So here you can see, now erase this one. Now see, what would be value of q? This can't be 0, but this can be 0. So q minus 2q will be 0, and that is q must be equal to q upon 2. So what would be the value of charges? Then charges, the value of charges here q upon 2 and also q upon 2. This one is, and distance between them d. So force will be maximum. Here force will be maximum. Force will be maximum. So for maximum force, charges must be divided into equal parts, like half of q and half of q, which is placed in d, and it will exert maximum force. So the next question, we can see there are so many situations we can see problems based on Coulomb's law, like see. Next case, situation number 3, if charge placed on triangle, equilateral triangle might be, this one is q1, this one is q2, and this one is q3, and this side is r. We have to find out on force q3. Find force on q3. So how you can solve this question? This is based on electrostatic, that's Coulomb's law. How we can solve this question? Let's see. Here we find force on q3. Question is, find force on q3 might be, someone can ask question like find force on q2, find force on q1. So to solve question based on Coulomb's law, first of all we have to see what is question. What is question here? Like we have to find the force on q3. So you have to see other charges, how many other charges are there, how many other charges are acting forces on that charged particle. So in this situation, in this case, there are two other charges like q1 and q2. So here force will be due to q1 on q3, and also there would be force due to q2 on q3, and resultant force would be the value of all force due to q1 and q2 on q3. So see how we can solve. q2 like F2 force, and due to q1 this is F1. This is F1. This is equilateral triangle, so it's 60 degree. It's 60 degree. It's also 60, and that would be 60. Now see, F1 you can find the magnitude of F1 here. We can write here the magnitude of F1 K Q1 and Q1 and Q3 upon R square, right? Similarly, we can write F2 that would be Q2 Q3 and that would be R square. So that is magnitude of F1 and F2. You got it? So K Q1 Q3 R square and K Q2 Q3 R square. Now here see, we can apply vector concept like this, F1 and this is F2. Angle between F1 and F2 is 60 degree. Like angle between F1 and F2 is 60 degrees. So on Q3, the resultant of F1 and F2 would be the net force on Q3. So what would be resultant? Resultant must be like this. If a resultant force, so here from vector we can find F is equal to the magnitude of F can be